Good morning, welcome back to the channel. It's another kind of half dreary day. It's not nice, it's not ugly, but got to do something. So today we're all finished with the D2 for now, but I've got to have to go down to the D4, and partway through that video there, I'd removed the mag off one of my D4s down there, so I got to go down there and put this back in place and button it back up. Just keep the birds and the mice and the insects from going on in there, making a place to live. And then, yeah, I got a couple of pieces I got to take down to the grader project. I got a box full of tools, my little portable electric starter there, booster cables, and got everything in the back of the service truck. And so, yeah, we'll just head around down there. Hopefully, I got enough stuff with me. I don't have to make a trip back to the shop. Okay, well, anybody that's familiar with the way these older D4s and D2s are put together, this pony motor at the back of the diesel, now this thing don't want to take a wrench. Oh well. At any rate, when you are working on these ponies, it's a lot nicer to be working on it off the machine on the bench, because it's so tight. You got to take half of it apart just to get part of it together. But anyway, we're going to put the mag in, and to start with, we have to determine where the timing mark is, and to see the timing mark on this pony motor is through this little hole there. Like, they really give you a lot of hole to work with. Directly behind the tappet cover, injector is in the road, and it's a deep hole, so it's a nightmare really. But once you're used to it, done it a couple of times to play. In later years on the flywheel, this was left off because when I took it off, I just put that on there to stop the water from going in. But in the early years, the flywheel of the pony motor did not have a timing mark stamped in the flywheel, and it was a kind of useless thing later on anyway, because you got to have the full dash off to see the timing mark there, to line up top dead center to see it here. So I've learned over doing this a few times, I got to establish my own timing marks. Now on these pony motors, this is a flywheel with a rope start. You wrap it around 3 turns, and you got to pull it to start the little gas engine. But to find your top dead center is actually pretty easy on these. And as I roll it around here, you can see on the bottom here is a white mark. I put that white mark a while ago. Now that's either going to be top dead center firing number 1 or top dead center firing number 2. We need to get top dead center firing number 1 to find the timing mark through that little weep hole or portal that I was just pointing out. Anyway, we're gonna I got to take a look down that little hole in the front, see if the M stamped in the cam gear is up top and shining through that hole. And quite by accident, there's the little white mark. Just gotta love those jakes. Okay, and I can't see the marks anymore, so what we're going to do is just get that in place over those bolts and check it, see where we are, and kind of like guess at it. Hey, that's down there. Well, and that slid right in. That's too easy. Too easy. I was really hoping that the camera would be able to pick up on that two white marks there, but because the mag's in there, the light is all blocked off, and I can see it with the eye, but the camera couldn't pick it up. Yeah, I took a picture of it. It's going to be blurry. I doubt if it'll turn out, but I set my camera to flash, and of course it's too light to flash and dark enough you can't see it. At any rate, we're going to move ahead. None of this here is got a lot of space to spare. Pretty tight quarters working on these pony motors. Everything is so cramped, and I'm going to have to make a trip up to the top there to get my extension, because I don't think I'm going to get this with flat wrench. And I got my sockets, but I didn't bring in the extension. Now that gear inside the engine has got at 180 degrees, it's got M stamp for mag and C stamp for crank. Now you can time the mag to the C if you want, as long as it's got the M on the Magneto gear in line with that C, and or the M. It doesn't really matter as far as that goes. You just have to oppose these spark plug wires. Oh, look at that. We might get away with it. It's going to be a little bit longer to tighten these up, but once again, my video skills are surfacing here, namely the management of your recording equipment. Apparently during the recording of these clips, the battery on my mic was dead, so there's no audio, but you can just follow along what I'm doing here. But it's all going to turn out to be a good thing in the end, because I'm going to have all this equipment on there. I'm going to try to start it with the rope. It's not going to work because of carburetor problems, so starting this morning again, I'm just going to pull that carburetor off there, put it on the kitchen table, and overhaul it again, because even with the electric start, all I got was maybe a couple of fires, one or two in a row, but it will not start. It did confirm that the mag was working. I did have it on time, and I pulled the plugs out, and indeed spark on each plug, so all that's good. So the problem here is the carburetor. I checked it for gas flow, and it's got good gas flow, but it's one of the finicky things of these ponies is that particular carburetor. We're going to have to pull that all off and redo that again and see what's going on with it. In my last couple of videos, I do have a new microphone, and you might notice here in the upcoming shots here, I've got it clipped to the back of my hat, and that is because when I first got it, I had it clipped to my shirt just underneath my mouth and basically against the my throat, I guess, a little too close. These mics work really good. They pick up a lot of sound, and what I found was it made me sound like I was like breathing a little bit too hard. So I got it mounted on the back of my hat, which sure improves the quality of the sound. Anyway, all I'm saying to that is new technology, one piece at a time, and it's all a big learning curve. Got to learn to operate what you got. You can see rope starting this D4 as opposed to that D2 is quite a bit harder because of all the darn stuff mounted on the side. So it's pretty difficult to do a rope start on this thing. Okay, it's the next afternoon, and I did come out early this morning. I managed to get that carburetor right off, and it's all back on. I went and videoed it yesterday, but had no audio, so no use videoing it again, putting it on. So anyway, yeah, we got it ready to go. Think we're going to just try to give her a spin, and hopefully this is going to start. I did find a couple of problems with that carburetor that I'm going to go over when we get back to the kitchen table on another carburetor I got. It was they're finicky, but if you don't have exactly everything right with any carburetor, they ain't going to work. So anyway, we'll get into that later. Meanwhile, I'll try to see if this is going to spin. Well, a few days later, I did try spinning it that day, and it didn't pop off. I don't know if I got carburetor problems, but now I've got the Eisman mag off, and I've got the American Bosch in place. And yeah, we'll try that, or I have tried that, and still no go. I got spark, I got gas, I don't know, and I get the odd puff and a woof, and it's almost like it's out of time, but I've been working at it through this port here and pulling it out and marking with a pen and everything and getting it all lined up, and it's just not going to start on me. So today I've got the old 3 jugs running there, missing on one cylinder all the time. Needs a little bit of injection work. But I think she'll have enough guts to pull this. I'm going to pull this machine right up into the yard backward, dragging the blade. We'll be the king of back blading. And yeah, I just got to I'll use the old starting rope there. I'll pull one steering clutch back so it don't fight me so hard, and you only need one steering clutch disengaged, pulling it dead. So we're going to do that and get hooked up and be on our way up to the yard there, so I can be closer to well, a lot of tools and don't have to go so far. We'll bring you back in a bit. I'm pulling that old Trail Cat, the 1939 7J as well with this particular unit, and as you can see, it's been heavily modified over time by previous owners. They didn't really do a pretty job on it, but they put the, first off they raised the seat up another probably a foot, and then put the fender tank over the backside, and of course it's not the prettiest thing to look at, but gets the job done. I'm dragging the 1939 7K 1671 backwards, or back blading, because I haven't got the diesel started. If I had somebody with me, I could have like pulled it and got the diesel started, but working alone, this is what I got, so I'm just going to pull it up the yard. As you can see, the little narrow gauge there is having a hard time coming around that hairpin corner. We're flipping the track trying to steer, so, but anyway, we'll get it done eventually and get her up to the yard. I'm having a bit of a time here as I'm trying to push this Beaver Falls D4 back into position there to, kind of save some space, get everything kind of parked in a compact manner. But I'm having a hard time there because the blade is angled on the Armstrong cat, and it just makes it harder to try to steer and push a dead machine. But I got her pushed up in behind there finally, and it all turned out good. I got my 1942 7J8043, which is the Army Cat move up. Hopefully I can get it started and drive it up under its own power. But all of these 4 machines, they got a little detail work to do, like this one here that I'm working with right now needs to check into the injectors there a little bit. There's something going on there, it's not firing. And then the pony motor on the other D4 there, and got to get that operating. And then the D6, I got some plans, I got some detail work to do on that D6. And the Army Cat as well, I got an oil leak off the main diesel engine I got to track down and get that repaired. I don't think I'm going to make any videos on any of these things. You never know. I might, but it's just detail work, just small jobs and whatnot. I'm going to concentrate on my Auto Patrol number 11 from this point on. Start the revival of it, rebuild it and get it running. So that's going to be the next video coming up, is Auto Patrol 11. After I got this cat in position and shut the working machine down there, I did open up the rack there to see if all the little plungers were timed, and I think one was out, number 3 was out, so I repositioned the little plungers on the rack, and it seemed to have run better after that. And I did get it restarted, and you see that pile of gravel off to the left there. I just pushed that off the side. It seemed to work a little bit better, so I think I'm going to, I don't know, in the next day or so, get it started again. I got a lot of work to do down below. I want to just get her working heavy and heated up and get her a good operating temperature, and maybe that'll fix this here missing cylinder. This is going to be the end of the video. I never got it started like I wanted, but we did change the carburetor, and I did change the mag back to the original mag, and still no good results. So there's going to be a little bit of deeper work going on with that little machine to get it to start. I like it a lot better than the Armstrong Cat, but the Armstrong Cat, it's the old faithful. And a survivor. It's still hanging in there, running. It was supposed to be the parts tractor, but ended up keeping it around. It's still operational, which is kind of good, I guess, because it seems to be the old faithful. But anyway, that's all we got for now. We'll catch up to you later. Like and subscribe, and come on, say persist. I've just started compiling some videos and footage, putting something together there. I'm getting ready to get in full swing on that Auto Patrol 11. I think I've sourced out some parts there to get my pony motor valve system, valve situation fixed. So we're going to be checking into getting those parts and building some videos. And in my future main videos are going to be building the Auto Patrol 11. So stay tuned.